Recognize the member from Saskatchewan Rivers.
You can't even look at her.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Coward.
I am pleased that this government has finally decided to start listening to parents and taking their concerns seriously. Mr. Speaker, in the last session, I called on the government to bring parents back into their children's education, as they felt this government had pushed them out. Mr. Speaker, my questions and concerns on behalf of parents fell on the deaf ears of this government in that last session. Then, after the summer by-election, this government suddenly did an about-face, beating their chest that they instantly cared about parental rights. Mr. Speaker, why did the government have to get embarrassed by John Romick in the Lumsden Moors by-election before they decided to do something and protect parental rights in education?
Recognize the member from Saskatchewan Rivers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This government made a great show out of their opposition to the federal carbon tax, but has failed to cut their own provincial carbon tax that exists in the form of the Saskatchewan gas tax. Mr. Speaker, the provincial carbon tax costs Saskatchewan residents more at the pumps than the federal carbon tax. The Canadian Taxpayers Federation Prairie Director stated, Saskatchewanians are now paying 2 carbon taxes that they can't afford, unquote. Mr. Speaker, all the power is in the Premier's hands. He could cut his provincial carbon tax today, saving residents up to 15 cents at the pumps.
That's right.
Why hasn't he done so?
Recognize the member from Saskatchewan Rivers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. These excuses are not acceptable. Alberta, Ontario, and Newfoundland and Labrador have all cut their gas tax to alleviate pressure on residents at the pumps. Mr. Speaker, where is the Saskatchewan advantage? This is an oil and gas country. We are the second largest oil-producing province in Canada. And yet our people pay the third, Mr. Speaker, the third highest province-wide provincial tax in the country. Mr. Speaker, I ask the Premier again, why hasn't he axed his provincial carbon tax? And will he commit today before this Assembly to axe it?
Recognize the member from Saskatchewan Rivers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Health care is a prepaid service that citizens have paid into all their lives, and when they need it, it is not there for them. Mr. Speaker, the citizens that built this province deserve the services that they have already paid into. Family doctors are nearly impossible to find. Seniors can't stay in their communities because of lack of long-term care, locally an expanded wait list. Mr. Speaker, can the government explain how their management of Saskatchewan health services have left those that have given so much to this province without basic health care?